everyone, or good morning or good afternoon, depending on where you are. My name is Betsy Ko, and this is our first new member Zoom in the month of March 2025. So we have these twice a month, and we use the term new very loosely, new or new-ish. Just really anyone who has a question on how they can navigate their WikiTreeing with more ease is welcome to come and talk with us. And the advantage of doing it on Zoom is it allows us to screen share and problem solve in real time, which is really nice. I've been on WikiTree for about 5 years now, and it's been just a wonderful journey for me. I thank my lucky stars the day I did a Google search for one of my ancestors and I got a hit with their WikiTree profile, and noticed that there were research notes and a little bit of new information, and I was quite impressed and signed up myself, and just got deeper and deeper in very quickly. So now I'm on WikiTree every day, and I spend a lot of my time working in the United States as well as in Canada and England, the Scotland project and Wales project as well. And on my dad's side, I have Taiwanese heritage. So, and we have four of us who co-host these sessions. Hillary is in England, so she's not with us right now because she's asleep, as she should be. But Murray and Stephen are here. So Murray, you wanna introduce yourself?
Oh, sorry, let me switch back. Yes, sorry. So I'm here. Hi, I'm Murray Maloney. I am an author editor, and I fool around a lot on WikiTree. I've been here 5 years. For 2 of that time, I've been working with Ian Bacall, writing the help for his software called the web browser extension, and I worked with Greg Clark in writing documentation for some of his apps, and I'll be working on another one of his apps again soon. And I like to come here and help out with Betsy and try and teach people how to get started and how to figure things out here, because it's kind of different, right? I mean, this is very different working here on WikiTree. It's not like Ancestry. It's not like Family Tree. It's not like My Heritage. It's any of them. Not like any of them, really, right? It's very different here because we collaborate. We're not off independently creating trees hither and yon, and everybody's putting different grandparents on because they think that those people are special somehow and they have to be connected to them. And it's yeah. Anyways, people have weird ambitions with their genealogy sometimes. But so we're here to help you learn the ropes and figure out what to do. And I'd like to introduce Stephen.
Hello. All right, Murray, thank you. And I'm Steve Greenwood. Again, I've been with WikiTree for 4.5 years. And again, I do dabble in a variety of things. Most of it falls in line with my ancestry being 90% German. So a lot of the Germany project is where my focus is. A lot of where my ancestors came to America. So I work with a lot of Wisconsin projects. So a lot of Wisconsin profiles. There's not really like a defined Wisconsin project, it'd be within like United States, but that tends to be where a lot of my interest lies. And also, I have a tendency to work on lots of notable profiles. There's been a lot of notable people passing away lately, and I've usually been on top of just getting those recently deceased profiles created, so at least we can have something in place, and with the intent of having them connected to the tree. Adds a little bit more flavor. There's a way for me to honor the people that I'm interested in, and maybe other people intersect those as well. So a couple things like that, and a whole bunch of little space pages that I've been working on. And now, welcome to the first Q&A since the WikiTree redesign that everyone loves, and we will do our best to help navigate this new and unforgiving terrain. And appreciate all of you guys' patience, and as everyone is trying their best to get the bugs worked out, take a lot of feedback and everything. That's what we're here for, And again, I like to remind. I mean, there's been a bit of conversation about it, in other forums. But we're just a bunch of volunteers, really, that are doing this. No one's not many people are getting paid to do this. There's a WikiTree team, but there is like a very big core of individuals who are completely volunteer that are putting all of this together for us. And I just want to remind people to appreciate them, that they're taking their time out of their days, their work schedules, all that to kind of piece this stuff together. And again, what this event here today for is to allow us to navigate the wiki and figure out, okay, what isn't working? Let's go ahead and provide that positive, constructive feedback that everybody that is working on this wants to hear. We're going to get them to those right pages that they need to be seeing so they can provide that feedback and everything. So, let's have a nice let's have a nice chat today.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Stephen.
Yep.
I don't think the answer is yes, but is there anyone here in our group, in our midst tonight, who joined this week? Or has everybody been on longer than a week? Okay, all right. Because I was going to say, if you joined this week, the new WikiTree is all you know. So if there's interest and we have time, I want to prioritize questions. But if we would like to take a little tour of the new what the new page looks like, the profile page, we can do that. But I do want to dive into questions, and Debbie was our first person here. So we're going to do your question first. We are going to try, I'm going to do my very best to make sure that we get to everybody's questions, and feel free to go ahead and put your questions in the chat as well. If you want to put a little Q in front of them, that will help Murray and Stephen and I to make sure that we see those. So Debbie, what I did is I pulled up your ancestors, and I'd like to screen share it. Is that okay?
That's fine.
Okay. So here's a view that everybody can, are you all seeing the ancestors? Yeah. Okay.
Now, this is my first time back to WikiTree since you guys have changed the format. So this looks very different to me too.
Okay. All right. And I also just want to note that I do use the WikiTree browser extension, but I have it turned off right now. Just because I recognize that many newer people to WikiTree don't use the browser extension, and I hope that this matches what you see.
And
so,
if I can add really quick, Betsy,
yes. Yeah.
WikiTree browser extension may be having issues and bugs as we're trying to again get it worked out with all of the new changes. So it's probably best to explore it without WBE anyway.
Yeah.
And it could be creating errors if you have it turned on. So.
It does not.
Yeah. Debbie, is there one of these ancestors, and I mean, we can go further back if you'd like, but is there one of these that would be a good example of where you need sourcing help, or you want to take a look at how we...
No, you could probably, I don't know if I can't see David Tate Travis, but you could probably, any of them, I've put all my sources on each one of them.
Oh,
but
I see.
don't know that I
Sarah.
formatted it correctly.
Okay, there's Dave.
Okay.
Yeah.
Second great grandparent.
Okay, second grade. Okay, and so I think what we want to do, so you found him in the 1850 census.
Right.
And then you've got a marriage record, Civil War, and this 1970. Now, this is terrific, what you did here. You found him, yeah, you found him in the 1870 census, and you gave us a link to the family search version of that record. And the reason that that's preferable is there's no paywall.
Okay.
So not everybody has an Ancestry subscription.
Well, my question with that was, if I have an account with Ancestry and I put a link, does that go like through my account or?
No, it does not.
Okay.
Now what you can do, now
Sharing the link
this is a little, this would be hard. I like the 1850 census. I would probably have to search a little bit to find it.
Okay.
There's a way, and let's walk through the process right now. There's a way to find the source, find your source on Ancestry, and then find it on Family Search and use that.
Okay.
Let's work through that. So if you see up at the top, I have a number 1 here,
Okay.
and that shows that I have an extension called Sourcer, which I highly recommend, and maybe Murray or Stephen could put in the link in the chat. It's a free extension. And so what it's going to do,
Probably do that.
yeah,
I'll get it. I'll get it.
Thank you, Murray.
okay.
Yeah, you bet.
I'm going to go ahead and search Ancestry for David Travis. Okay, and let's just see if I can find quickly the 1850 census. 1880,
Oh,
1910, 70, 60. There
There
we
it
go. Is that right, Debbie?
Jefferson County.
Probably so. I know there was one census, they called him Tate. And they
Yeah.
didn't have David on there. They just had Tate.
Okay, all right. So here, let's take a close. Yeah, this says Tate. And so I'm going to go ahead and click on it. Okay. And so you would take the time to look at the actual record, but do you recognize his parent? Looks like we have a grandparent and his mother.
Yeah, Philip is actually his father.
Oh.
Yes, that's
Okay.
his father.
Okay, great. So we have the right
30
family.
years.
Now, what we're going to do from this page, not from like the image of the record, I'm going to click on Sourcer again, and I'm going to search for family search.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the flexibility of this, it's the extension, always. You can tell.
I gotcha.
I didn't do any research today. Okay, here we go. And there it is, right at the
Okay.
top. So, and then I'm gonna go to the record. And you probably knew that he had a family search profile, but finding at least one record will lead you to that profile. Okay, there we've got the right record, and now I'm just going to copy the citation,
Okay.
and then going back to his. May I go ahead and make an edit on
Sure.
his?
Yes, please.
Okay, so there's our new edit button. I'm going down to
Interesting.
okay, so what I'm going to do is now we have a better citation because it's
Okay.
family.
I think you'll want to get the 3 paragraphs if that's all part of the 1850 census. It's
Oh yes, I see what you mean,
Mhm.
Stephen. Okay, actually, 1 second. I'm going to go one better than what we did. Here I am. I'm on Family Search. Now you could just grab their pre-formatted citation.
There
But
you go.
if you have Sourcer, what you can do is you can build a narrative Well, I could build, yeah, narrative with citation.
Yeah, because there is no narrative on this page.
Right. Now I'll come back. And as Stephen noted, we have a lot. So
Yep.
we're going to need that anymore. And then I'm going to come under, oh, we lost your biography heading.
It
Okay,
never was there.
okay. Now, this is what was on my clipboard.
Oh,
And so it tells us 1850 census, he was 2, his location. And now all of this that looks like a little bit messy.
create the household table.
Yes, if I go to the preview, I'm going to show you what this looks like. It's going to give you this nice little table.
Okay.
Which you may or may not like. I find that when I am still researching a family, I love having these tables because it's very quick for me to just put the pieces of the puzzle together that way. So you know, you can certainly delete that code if you would prefer. But and then in terms of what I've done. Let's see. Summarize, but what did I do? I added a source, replaced 1850 census citation. And then full save. And then you can see, now we have a little bit of a biography and with an inline citation. Wow, that's a mess. Okay.
Oh,
Huh. Okay.
found our first bug.
All right. But anyway, you can see that now anyone who has a free family search account can go straight to the record or the image
Okay.
and they can see for themselves,
Hmm.
which is very nice.
Betsy, could we do one extra little thing?
Yes, yeah, I was just gonna turn it over to you and Stephen for other ideas.
Why don't you open it up for editing again?
Okay. Let's see. Mm-hmm.
And go down to the bio. We're going to find that what you just put in,
Yep. Okay.
and
This.
we're gonna take see where the end of the reference is.
Yes, over here.
I want you to grab that and
Okay.
cut it.
Should I cut what I just highlighted?
Oh,
Yeah,
you want
exactly.
to put the table into the actual citation.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Got
Yeah,
it.
cut it. Now go to the end of the table
Okay. Mm-hmm.
and after, create a new line. Oh,
Yep, I
did you
did.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep.
now preview it.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is a
Great.
formatting choice that some people decide to do. If they don't want it actually in the biography, then it's still
Oh.
presentable within the
Yeah.
sources section. So it's just a matter of changing
Right.
the location of that reference tag.
Sometimes you want maybe the closest census to when the person was born. Maybe you want that table because it's just the parents and the kid, right? And then maybe when he's got a family.
Yeah.
That he's only 2 here.
Yeah, so that's very good. That's very
Right.
good.
So and in other censuses, like you might have 7 or 8 censuses, right? So there's a whole collection of them that you might hide in the sources, and some of them that you want to show in the bio.
Right.
But so it's up to you. But that's just the trick. That's how to do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good point. And for something like that, we would just say it's formatting. And Peggy, I see your hand up.
Yeah, I just have a question about when in the source,
Yes.
usually there's a part at the end of it that says the date and the time when you accessed that site. How necessary is it to leave that there?
We really like it when you do that. it tells us how stale the link is.
Hmm.
I guess I missed that.
Is
Oh, yeah.
there
Yeah, so
is
It's
there
right
a
there.
legal reason
You
for
see the
it?
record and the access date next to it?
Oh, yeah. So
Okay,
he's talking about this.
okay.
Yeah.
And it's automatically generated whenever you use that citation.
Okay.
Mhm.
So yeah, it does indicate, yeah, the staleness of something, because something could get updated. Maybe the record itself doesn't change, but the annotation changes. I noticed that, this thing was calling him Travers, but I
Right.
mean, we know his birth name to be Travis, his
Right.
last name, and then I think it was actually adjusted in on the page on Family Search itself, or actually on Ancestry, where someone came in and said, no, actually, it's this name. So I know that you still had a
Probably
tab
me.
open for the document itself. I'm curious to see what the actual document looks like. If it says Travers, and if that's how they actually noted it, on the census, would you be able to just pull it open really quick with the tab that you still have open?
That's-
Yes. What do you want? What do you want to look at?
You want
Well,
to
the
see the
physical
image?
document itself. Yeah, I'm just curious, really quick.
Well,
Document
you got
itself.
the link right there, the image, the
Yeah.
purple one. Yeah.
Right there.
Okay,
That's
then
something
just
that
open up
lots
a new
of
tab.
times, sometimes in the transcription, whoever transcribed it
Right.
Yeah.
read
Yeah,
it. I
exactly.
think they read it incorrectly, like they made a typo. And
Ancestry is
that will
good at
be
that.
in the source will be the typo. So I
Yeah.
wipe that out of the source citation and
Yeah.
I correct it in
Yeah.
the table
I do
myself
the same.
because I know the name of the person and I
Right.
looked at the actual record and
Yes.
see that it's the way it's supposed to be. It just got transcribed wrong. So
Right,
in the
transcription.
citation, I wipe out that stuff. And I've also been deleting the date and time I access because sometimes I've accessed that record many times. And the date and the time becomes irrelevant because I've accessed it so many times that one particular date and time seems kind of meaningless. That's why I wonder what's the importance of leaving it there. I wondered if there's a legal need to leave it there.
No, but I never thought about what Stephen and Murray were saying about the staleness of the, how old the URL was. And that could be useful information. I mean, the way I see it, there's no harm in
Mhm.
including.
I
the
can
other.
see it if it was a URL for the source is something that changes frequently versus some of these things
Exactly.
don't
Right.
change.
Yeah, they could
Right.
get archived or something may get moved. So,
But-
any
well,
information like that, they can go back into the edits and see that too, the different changes on the profile. But, it won't be as easy as just being able to find it at the bottom of the page, seeing like, oh, this is from, 2025 and it's now like 2030. So suppose somebody comes along 5 years later and it's one of your cousins that's like also trying to investigate this person. So, any information like that's still helpful for them to know, that the research has already been done, maybe.
Yeah.
It-
If
it
it's
leaves-
a book, it's not like a book on the archive, internet
Yeah.
archive. It's not going to change. It's the book is the book. It's what's there.
Well, the
Okay.
location of it might change depending on how it gets.
So if
moved
the
around,
census
yeah.
actually said Travers, do you leave it that or do you change it to the surname you're familiar with?
Well, no, you should, if you look at the original record and in the handwriting as you see it is Travers, I would write Travers and maybe put it square brackets SIC
Right.
afterwards, just because we have to be faithful to what's there.
Right. That's, I usually do that.
Right.
Hmm.
Let's answer Anne's question, and I have a postscript to Debbie's question. Go ahead, Anne.
Okay, what I do if there is a discrepancy between a source and what the real name is, I usually go to a research note and say that this is wrong, the transcript has been written wrong, but it is the right person. So they will know that it is, it is the transcript's wrong and not the person that they're doing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Very good
Denise.
point.
Hi. Just a quick, Amanda had a question about how do you include the table when you're clicking on a narrative? And if you go to the WikiTree sourcer, and open that up, you'll be able to see your different options for using the sourcer.
So if you only wanted the household table without the citation, you could do this. But
Right.
if you do the narrative with citation, that's going to give you the household table.
Well, only if you select that it includes the household table. You actually have to go into that sourcer, into that extension, and
Into the
get that
options is what
update.
you're saying. Yes. Into
Yes.
options. Yes. If you
Yes.
make that your default, then it'll include the household table.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's true.
Good
I didn't know
question.
we could change it. That's something
Now,
I'd
Oh,
like to say.
didn't you?
No.
I just want to address, sometimes there's a record where you can't find it on Family Search and it's on Ancestry. So what do you do then? And so
It's the ancestry.
yeah, exactly. So you would just, I'm going to pretend, we all know that the census is on both of those, both sites. But if I could be here and then I would go here and I could do the exact same thing. And then paste that into the profile. And what it will provide is a sharing link. So that even somebody without an Ancestry subscription, they can kind of zoom in and get an idea of what's in the record. So Kathy. Hey Kathy, welcome.
Hello.
Hey, Kathy.
Hello, everyone. I just want to make a statement to what Denise was saying about you can change in Sorcerer, you can add a table or you could do a list and you can have it up in the biography or you can put it in the sources section.
Right, yeah, right before you hopped on, I had done it in the biography and then Murray showed us how to do it in the sources. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Just to so that people know.
Right, absolutely. Lots of flexibility, lots of choices. So
yeah, I was about to join and got distracted. So
well, we're glad you did. Glad you made it.
Joining late.
No problem. So maybe we could now move over to, we did have Peggy and Gordon with specific questions. Murray, you want to talk about merging? You want to take Peggy's question?
Oh, okay. Peggy, where are you? Where are you? Trying to find it.
Peggy, where?
There you are.
I don't know where I am on here or where I am on.
Yeah, I'm just trying to find, yeah, your image. There you go.
Oh,
Hi. So who do we want to merge?
There's Babcock.
7841.
122.
Babcock's
7841.
7841. Babcock 7841. Okay, give me a moment. And let's go find. Sorry, give me the number again. 74.
7841.
7841. Okay. So, oops, spelled that wrong. Didn't wait for me. So I'm going to come back here and I'm going to do my screen sharing. And what happened?
I see your
Think you see
calendar.
okay, good. Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Now, do you see that?
I see
Yes.
that.
Well, now we see Sorcerer.
WikiTree Sourcer, right? The WikiTree page for WikiTree Sourcer.
Yes.
All right. So now I just gotta, and you can also see that I've typed in Babcock 7841, but I didn't capitalize it, right? Oops. What's
Did you
happening?
mean to search the watch list?
Oh, I think you want to
Why
be
doesn't it let me do
your
that?
last name, Murray.
Oh, that's right. It's not the
Because
watch list.
Babcock is not on your watch
Right.
list.
That's right. Thanks for pointing that out. So the way that I got to the search box is this little icon up here. Magnifying glass, and now I've got to move this out of my way. And it's asking me to expand this, and it's just going to be in my way. So there we go. And now, so this is a person who was born in 1828 in New York State, died in Michigan. There's 2 facts.
Yeah, that's the default fact that's produced when you create the profile. If you had no biography, it just does that automatically.
Oh, is that right? Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it usually has the birth year and the died year, and that's it. Just to get the profile made.
Right. No, but I meant 2 facts. There's 2 records.
Mm-hmm.
And okay, so now you have another person that you want to merge with that person, right?
Right.
And who's that one?
Babcock 122.
Okay. All right.
That's pretty quick.
And this person has more information.
Mhm.
And
That would
it's
be the one we
sorry.
merge into.
Yeah, it's the lower number, is it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So the one with the more information is the winner. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
This one gets to
I-
slide in.
Yeah, I've seen other places that said the lower number must is
Now,
the one that's been around longer.
Jane Laura, this one, 7841, has a father and siblings. And this one has a father and siblings. So have you done a
Oh.
comparison? Yeah, go ahead.
Is she a sister to herself if they share the same parents?
Oh, that's how I discovered there was a duplicate.
Yep, I see them right next to each other. Jane Laura and Jane Laura Ganal.
Yeah.
We already have a shared parent situation.
So
Okay,
you
so
don't,
they have the father in common. Let's see.
This
Okay,
is how
where's the ID?
I discovered that there was a duplicate of her out there.
How do I get the ID? Stephen, where's the ID? Do you see it?
Oh, where's the ID for John Babcock?
Well, I just opened up this link to see who this one is, so I can
Hover
compare
over
him
his
with the
name.
other one.
It's the same parents and the same siblings and spouse and child that's out there.
Yeah.
Okay, so
this
you're
one has
absolutely
to be
certain
done.
of that this John Babcock is the same as the other John Babcock. Okay, so now we want to merge them.
Yeah.
And you say that we got Mary Rosaire Anderson, and we've got Warren Silverwood.
Yeah.
And now, does this work? Does this tell us? Oh, view the
Yeah,
connection. Perfect.
yeah.
Okay, so let's see how close they are. So it's a branch, and so somebody's husband has a connection, right? And these are private people, and so Jane Babcock is connected to that person in that way. Now this
Okay.
one is connected in this way.
Oh.
Married into it. The Ganals.
Wow.
So, so
Okay.
anyway, they're both related. They both got skin in the game is basically what I'm trying to say here. So they care.
Is that what you call it?
I just came up with that. You know,
They both got skin in the game. Okay.
So let's see. Somebody wants to enter here.
I got it.
Okay. Yeah. So they're both related, and you're related too. I take it.
Yeah.
Okay. So you all care, and so what are we going to do here? We're going to suggest that we merge these people, right? We're going to say this is a good idea. Let's merge them, right? So they already have the same father, so that's a point in our favor, and they're on the same line with siblings, so they share siblings, so that's in their favor. So we should go ahead and we should proceed with this. Now I always forget, and I always end up doing it wrong. Which one do you start with? Stephen?
So what you want to do is you want to, the merge profile will have the number of the lower profile. So once we merge them, it will be Babcock 122.
I understand that.
However, yeah,
Starting
however,
point.
we can't do the merge.
No.
We were gonna have to wait for the profile managers to respond. After 30 days, it will go through automatically because they are both open profiles. But you can suggest the merge, and maybe Murray can show that.
Yeah,
And
that's what I was going to proceed with. How to do that.
great. And Denise,
So
can I just get Denise's comment in here?
Yeah,
Yep.
just one thought, because when you initiate the merge, if you don't have the correct order,
Yeah.
WikiTree will give you a message to
Right.
Yeah.
to switch them. So you don't
can-
have to worry about if you have the lower number or the higher number. When you go to initiate that merge, it's going to prompt you to switch it, to reverse the order if necessary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the general trend is from higher to lower, as long as we know that.
And
Yeah.
I had left a comment on the higher number one, but I hadn't. I think I understand that I probably should have left a comment on the 122 profile.
Yeah.
Saying that there is a duplicate out there. I should have done that, and I would in the future. But to initiate a merge, both profile owners now would get some kind of message saying that a merge has been initiated.
Yeah, to that point, they'll both get the notification. So it's like you are making a comment anyway.
Okay.
And it'll show both numbers side by side, saying, there's this other one out there that we're requesting to merge for. And so it'll actually create a comment on the page of each one of them.
Okay.
And then they'll get an email notification.
Okay.
Merge. We did a merge. Oops.
Did we lose how to?
There we go.
Okay, that's still where it should be.
Initiate a merge. Okay. No, I was just getting the
numbers.
I had the ID. So you want to know who you need to grab the ID of the person that you're trying to merge into, the lower one. And so I grabbed that from the other profile, and I started the merge on the higher number one. So what we're going to do first, I know we've already looked at them, but we're going to do it anyway. You do a compare side by side.
Okay.
And just look and make sure that they're the same person, right? Just want to do a quick review and say, yeah, I'm pretty sure that this is what we want to do. So you see how you can just scroll through?
Yeah. This helps rather than going back and forth between tabs or screens.
Absolutely.
Compare is huge.
Okay, so
One
then,
is born, Ohio one is born in New York.
then we say,
Oh, I see that. Yeah, one born in New York. Maybe it's based off a census.
The 122 is the correct one.
Yeah, I think a census was providing a different state of birth, and that's what they based it off of.
But that does bring up something that I was wondering though, when you say like if neither profile managers, sometimes if the profile managers are just not active anymore, if neither profile manager responds, then you say they automatically get merged after 30 days. So then that must mean that the WikiTree software merges it. What does the merge profile look like then? Is it just combines the information together and leaves
well,
it
so
comes along and cleans it up?
basically, what's going to happen is you're not going to lose any information. I mean, as you can see with these two profiles are a really nice example. You've got a nice photo on one, and it's not like you're going to have to sacrifice. You're going to have the opportunity to synthesize the information in a way that is, that you get to keep the photo and then you get to reconcile the facts. Now, supposing that you were one of the profile managers and you were doing the merge with another profile manager, the idea is, because WikiTree is a collaborative tree, is that you would work together to say resolve the question of, were they born in Ohio or New York? Let's figure it out. And then, you know, the profile would go by whatever you came to as the final answer.
Do you, as the person who initiate, oh, okay, so it's checked here, email me if someone replies. Do you, as
Yeah.
the person who initiates the merge, get email and messages if, you know, like
That's
after
right.
30 days, nobody responds? So that if I initiated a merge, then I would know that nobody, the profile managers didn't respond, so then I could go in and clean it up the way it should be cleaned up. Or the way I think it should be cleaned up.
You won't get a notification to tell you that precisely. What you can do, where am I looking for? There it is. My activity feed. You see that under my WikiTree?
Yeah.
So you go to your activity feed. No, that's wait, I'm looking at the wrong thing. What am I looking for?
You didn't lose
Sorry.
your data, did you?
Merges.
Oh, good, it's still there.
Yeah.
Go to your watch list, the merge.
Like, what am I watching? What am I looking for?
Oh, it's not there anymore. There used to be a page for when you're doing the watch list. There used to be like 3 things you could look at. You could look at your merges. You could look at your
Like your pending stuff, there would be a place for it.
Yeah.
not there.
Yeah, I think you do have to keep just you know, make a note, you know, I propose the merge, or it might be in your contributions.
Yeah, I was just thinking I would keep track of my contribution.
Yeah.
And
And I
you're
don't
around
think
April
he's actually
13th, you're going to want
clicked
to come back.
the propose yet.
Yeah, if it hasn't
Thank you.
happened, nothing will be
No,
indicated.
I'm not going to propose it because that's not up to me.
Yeah.
So Peggy, you'll propose it when the time comes. We're trying to show you what to do.
Okay.
So this is the kind of message you might write.
Okay.
Okay, these are the same person, and this is why. This is how we know this. And apparently the duplicate was made in error, and I request that you merge them. Now, as everyone was saying, you know, you go through the process. After 30 days, go ahead and merge them.
Okay.
And otherwise, I mean, if somebody objects and gives you a reason why, then you know you have to abide by what they want to do.
So then after 30 days.
After 30 days, you go in and proceed with the merge. You'll have the authority at that point.
So then when, like how right now it says, since I'm not on the trusted list, I can't complete the merge. But once I do this step, then after 30 days, I will be able to complete a merge.
That's there you go. That's a very good question. So I've never encountered that problem before because I've never tried. I'm usually doing it with really old profiles, so they're not protected. Stephen, what do you know about that?
Well, I mean, let's just say that either of the two people that are, you know, related to or in control of these profiles responds, right? Either one of them would be able to complete the merge, right?
Yeah.
Or at least someone has to check off on it to give permission to the other person to do it, right?
Yeah.
And then, you know, it could happen that way. It could happen where there's no response, and so 30 days elapses, and because you initiated the merge, it may give you the authority to complete the merge.
No, you know what it gives? No, you know what it gives you at that point? At that point, it tells you that it wasn't authorized, and then you get told if you don't like that, go complain about it. Which is what's it called? What's the process called, Betsy?
Unresponsive profile managers.
There you go.
And then there's the third situation too. So I
Where,
mean,
where
there
you don't
is a
get your way.
process through on responsive profile managers.
Yeah.
Right. And so basically there are, let me see if I have this correct. There are 3 steps you have to take. And I usually try and do them all on the same day, just, you know, sort of so that my countdown is lined up. So 1, make a request to be on the trusted list of the profile. And Murray can show how you would do that. 2, send either an email or a private message to the profile manager. And 3, leave a comment on the profile.
Okay.
Yeah. So I would do, Murray, do you want to show how to request to be on the trusted list just for anyone who might
Well,
not know?
I don't know if I can do that. So let's see.
Oh,
So here's,
and
yeah,
hey,
go ahead.
Murray, by the way,
Yeah.
it was a shared mother. I guess one of the profiles here doesn't have a father. So the mother was the shared parent.
Well, no, the other one didn't. Wait.
They both had Lydia Wolcott as a mother, though.
Oh, I thought they both had John as a father.
I think the father is unknown here on this page we're looking at.
Well,
So,
John and Lydia.
I think that they, did you move to a different person? They did both have John W. Babcock as a father.
yeah, I could be getting
If
confused
you
here.
go back one more, Murray, you'll be on, there you are.
And there's
That one
Father
has
Unknown and
father
Lydia.
unknown.
What happened to her father?
This is 7841.
Oh, wow.
This is 122. So, wait, what? That's just Lydia. That's Lydia and John.
We got Lydia.
Then back here, Father Unknown. I'm confused.
So you just change it from same father to same mother. Because the mother is the connecting thread between these 2 profiles, correct?
Certainly.
Something's
Oh yeah, Father Unknown on the,
You might want to
122
refresh your
is John.
screen so the changes can catch up. Because
Right.
you've made changes, but you keep going back to the original screen. So if you refresh, you might have better luck.
good
There's
point.
John and Lydia.
Yeah, you go ahead and kill all your tabs and start fresh too. It's, you know, they can add up really quickly.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, this is probably something for Peggy to resolve.
I see what
Yeah.
I need to do now, and I know how to
Mhm.
request to be on the trusted list.
Okay.
And leave the comments. So, and so I will, I'll initiate through those 3 steps and initiate the merge, and then I will, come back in April, 30 days from now, and see if I need help with another step.
Mm-hmm.
If the merge happened, and let you know.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? Maybe it gets resolved before that.
Betsy,
Yeah.
what was the 3rd step?
Yes.
We'll see how it goes.
Right here, join the trusted list.
Okay,
Yes.
that's the first.
And leave a comment and send a private message.
Let me pull up. There should be a help.
Actually, it does allow a couple of comments here, so you could probably add the comments here. You know, your message, identifying yourself, so you wouldn't have to like leave necessarily another comment. But yeah, if they're not checking their email, then I can see how it could get overlooked.
This is the
122. Yeah, this guy.
41.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this should be the most. Ooh, it's not the most complete profile. This is smaller.
No, this is the
this
least
is the
complete
bigger one.
profile, and has different.
This
Why is the
something.
mother down here?
Something.
Oh, mother of. Okay, yeah, the child. Okay.
There's something very strange here.
In the neighborhood.
Something very strange happened, because this should be the 122. This should be the 122, not the 7841. Oh wait, no. No,
I
scratch
just
that. Never mind.
switched.
Never
There's the
mind.
one. There's
I-
122.
I just said it totally wrong. Never mind.
The one with the photo is the one that we want to merge into.
Yeah, the 122 is the older one.
Yeah.
But
The first
it
one that
is
was
open,
created.
by the way. So that one's open.
Yeah.
That one's open.
I just have to request to be on the trusted list.
So after
me-
30 days, you get it. This is not locked. After 30 days, you win. These are not locked. So if they don't block it within the 30 days, then you get to merge them.
Mhm.
Yeah. If they were locked, somebody else would have to approve it.
Even if
Right.
I'm
If they're
not, on
not locked, then she can go ahead and do it, right?
even if
Exactly.
I'm not on the trusted list.
That's right.
Right,
Okay.
yes, because they're open profiles.
Okay. Okay.
That's what I was thinking was happening here. This should be a lot more simple. This would be a simpler process than it can be. Like if they were having a yellow lock, orange lock, what have you. Then there's levels that you have to go through in order to get somebody's permission.
So I
I'll
put in
try
the
it and
chat,
see what happens.
yeah, I put in the chat the help page for unresponsive profile managers, and that lays out the 3 steps that
Okay.
you need to take. So I do want to make sure that we get to Gordon's question. Gordon gave a specific profile. Maybe can I take over?
Yes.
So let me.
Yeah. Thanks to everybody's patience, and hopefully that was helpful for you, Peggy.
Yeah, it was. Thank you
I
very
know we
much.
went around a circle a little bit to figure out who we were looking at.
You gave me confidence.
So you had a question.
I'm not even confident half the time.
Left Road 3.
Oh yeah, this is the one that had the name change in the family.
Mhm. And so you were saying you had questions about sourcing. Now I see you're doing inline citations, which is nice. You're the profile manager. Okay.
Well, we could probably break up some of those concepts so it's a little bit easier to comprehend. Take our single paragraph and make a couple paragraphs out of it at least. There's definitely a lot of information here
So-
to go through, so that's great.
I think I would advise you, Gordon, to walk through the same process that we did with Debbie.
The sourcer. Yeah.
Yes, the
I
sourcer.
have not been familiar with that.
Yeah, because here, look, we've got the 1850 census, and I bet it would come up right away. Actually, I'm gonna just go straight to family search and see what comes up. 1870. All right, there we go.
St. Clair Township.
Does
Sounds like a Palatine German. Yeah, he's got the German ancestry.
this-
He's coming from
does
Pennsylvania.
this look- yeah, does this
He's
look like
actually
your person?
through his ancestors coming from east of Göttingen.
Göttingen, okay, which is in Lower Saxony.
Yeah.
Okay, but yeah, that's where some of my people are. Lower Saxony is where they come from.
I've been on Archeon and gotten some information, but I haven't put that up yet because I just wanted to get right with doing this before I got too involved.
Yeah, of course.
If I could use this as an example, now I'm going to go in the opposite direction from the record page on family search. Let me find the record page on Ancestry because I'd
There it
like
is.
to show, and there it is.
Cool, miscellaneous repair
I'd like to
services.
show what an
Blacksmith.
Ancestry sharing link looks like. So here we are. I've got the
That's
right
awesome that they got his
cursor.
occupation in the 1850 census.
Yeah. And now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to, you had it as an inline citation, correct? Yeah.
I'm not into the terminology here.
Okay. Well, what you were doing before were inline citations.
Okay.
May I make an edit to the profile?
Yes, certainly.
All right. So here we go. And you had, let's see, you had used the 1850 census as number 5, which is this statement.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Okay, so now I'm going to go into edit mode.
Yeah, it's taken me a while to figure out where the profile IDs were hiding on these pages now. I can see they've stuck them on the very top right-hand corner.
Okay, so what I did was I already in Sorcerer, I copied that citation. So let's see. There's the statement, 1850, head of household. So I'm going to take what Gordon had, and I'm just going to replace it with that. Now again, we could let's look at the preview, and we could certainly take out the household table if you don't want that in there. So there's your fact. You have a citation.
The ref would probably need to be adjusted though. You see how it's showing up at the
Yes,
bottom?
I do. Um,
Could be a spacing thing. You may just have to take the space out.
okay. So I think,
Interesting.
yeah.
No, it's a space before the ref,
Oh,
not.
Yeah, I was guessing that.
Oh, yeah. So add the space and then just put his occupation on a different line altogether, just to kind of break it up. And maybe that'll help. Okay, let's just try that.
the one thing with preview, just to remind everybody, it's great for catching this kind of little thing. But you do have to like refresh it every time you make a change. Okay,
There's a
now
pop-up window now instead of showing up
no,
at the bottom of the page.
no, I've still got a problem. Maybe I have two ref tags.
Yeah, where
You
would
may
the
have
other
pasted
ref-
in an extra.
Yeah, that could well be. Okay,
Yeah, it's pretty involved.
we can always back out of this and just, okay, let's,
I see.
look, there it
Double
is.
headers.
Okay,
On the
so
side of it.
there's our fact that we're stating.
Mhm.
There's our opening ref tag. And
And then
There's
your
a
close comes
closing
after
ref.
the
there's
table.
Yep.
our closing ref tag.
No,
Isn't
go
technology
back,
great?
back up. I saw an extra one.
Where?
You have one right at the beginning.
Stop right there. Right,
Why is that button so
go
big?
back up 3 lines. There.
Yeah.
See it?
Oh,
Tree plus button is so ginormous.
okay. I'm just gonna, let's see what that has done.
Yeah.
Not supposed to be
That's,
that big.
Okay, Simon was born.
Uh,
Okay, so
Oh.
now that's put the census, the table down within the sources. But what I want you to see is the sharing link.
Okay.
And so someone can click on that
And see the actual image.
and yes.
mhm.
And so, you know, even someone without an Ancestry subscription is going to be able to see that.
They'll
So
be able
that-
to see a preview because they don't have the paywall, if they're going through to actually view the full record. I think if you click full record, it would want you to sign in, but you're already signed in, so it won't matter.
Yeah. So that's a really nice feature of Sorcerer. Okay.
Okay, so we figure out the the HTML on that.
Yep. It's like, it's amazing what one spare little bracket will do to mess you up. So does this?
And to my point, I
Yeah.
think in order to prevent that from happening, I would highly recommend breaking this up. We'll go ahead and let you do it, Gordon. You
Okay.
can just divvy up those sections. What you can actually do is, since you have so much info, you could add extra headers, create kind of a table of contents out of it, and just break it down by like year or event or something. I have a profile that I have broken up like that, by like decade or something. So maybe that'll let the profile breathe a little bit, and then you'll be able to keep track of all your sources a little bit better, if that makes sense.
Okay. Well, I'm not sure I would put in headers, but I
Okay.
think you could split it in a rational manner.
Yeah. Whatever looks good to you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So shall I go ahead and change? Now, we do have an option where we could return to the profile without saving, or is it
No, you
okay?
can save.
Okay,
It's
all right.
fine by me.
So I'm going to say
Formatting is part of it.
formatting, and basically yeah, and I'll just put 1850 cents. Whenever I'm doing something on a profile where I'm not the manager, I make sure that I say, give a little more detail of what I did.
Oh, okay.
And since you're seeing what I'm doing, I know that that'll be enough.
Commit changes, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Hey. All right.
Thank you.
Now, you're very welcome.
Love this photo, by the way.
Who has a burning question?
Well, I have a question about photographs and our document.
Yes.
If you don't have the link to the document,
Harry,
do you
work lights.
upload the actual document into WikiTree?
I'm sorry, could you repeat the question?
If one doesn't have a link to a document, does one
Yes.
actually put a copy of the document into WikiTree?
What document are we talking about?
Yeah.
Well, birth record, death record.
Where
that I
did it come
photographed.
from?
Well, I went to the church and actually photographed these records.
Oh, in that case, I would say yes, include the document,
Okay.
the image in the profile. I'll show you what I've.
Okay, well, I did that to my great grandfather, and it says there are 4 photos. Maybe I put it in the wrong place. But today, when I went to look at them, I can flip through the 4 things, and it's always the same one photograph. I don't see the documents I put in there.
Oh, can you give me the profile ID?
Yeah,
That person.
Yeah, really curious.
is there a number? Where do I see that number? I know I'd see her somewhere.
Upper right-hand side of the profile now.
Oh, Ramponi 17, Ramponi-17.
Okay.
RAMPONE-17.
Yeah, there's a lot more drop down, a lot more JavaScript being used apparently.
Okay.
Okay, is this the person?
All right.
That's
so
him.
now
Yep.
one is
So
a
it says
new
there's 4 photographs. Yeah.
Yeah, is it's now a carousel. So, hmm.
But they don't show. It only shows his picture 4 times.
Let's go to the
Okay.
images tab, the photos 4 at the very top.
Yeah.
So then the individual page. Wait, does it just take you to that section now?
Yeah.
Click on the photo.
Doesn't take you to individual photo page?
No. Let me do a quick test on one of my profiles where I know I have
Right.
multiple photos.
I don't know if I'm digging that.
Yep, it should take you through like that.
But you should be able to also click on an individual photo page itself too. Okay, so once to open up
when I click on the
query on top.
click on that arrow, it does show it changes, 2 of 4, 3 of 4, but it's the same picture as opposed to the documents that I put in there.
I see what's happening here.
Do you, Steve? What's happening?
Oh, I'm still getting used to the format myself, in terms of like how they're displaying items. So a lot of pop-up windows are occurring instead of individual pages now.
Picture 3, which is the same as picture 4.
Is it possibly PDF instead of a JPEG?
I did them all as JPEGs, but I don't know if sometimes they get changed on me.
And these are definitely things we'll need to report.
Because the thing is, WikiTree's system is very good about about discouraging duplicate images. So if I tried to upload a photo that I had uploaded already, the system will recognize it and say, oh, we think this is already, you have this, and check over here. So I'm puzzled. I really am puzzled.
So Don, here's the thing. Things have changed recently, and this is one of the things that we're not. Oh, there it is.
What?
See up on the bar. over to the left, the words, it says photos for.
Well, that's what I
Yeah.
was initially trying to click
on
on.
And
I did, and
It
so
zoomed back to
that's a
that.
sticky bar, and it just takes me right there.
there. Oh,
Hmm.
now go back in there, please.
Details.
Go into the photo.
I clicked on
Details. I got it. I finally got the thing to upload. Okay, so photo details is what you want to click on for each individual image, and then it'll actually show you the data
There we go.
related to that image.
Right.
Okay, thank goodness. I was looking for an individual page, which then you can go back and forth between them, because if you just change the little number after the dash, after the second dash, 17.1 will be the first one, 17.2 will be the second one, and so forth. Now you can see all the comments, and you can see all the extra information that's associated with it.
Yeah.
I had to figure
16
out what
days
was
ago.
going on. So sorry.
Okay. No, that's good. 16 days ago, this comment was added. Let's go
Yeah,
look at
he
the other ones
basically
and see when
uploaded
that
it
was.
16 days ago.
But
Let's look at the other one.
but all four
Or
pictures are the same one.
Did you do them on the same day?
But
Is it-
no,
I-
there should be documents. It should be his marriage record and his birth record and his death record.
Right.
Okay.
What happened?
Well, okay, so we think this is image 3. Let's just pick a different one.
They're all-
Yeah, so
Okay.
change that 3 to a 1 and see what happens.
They're all the same.
I don't think I can.
No,
Oh, I
you
see.
can go in the URL. Yeah.
Yeah, good call. Oops.
Oop.
Okay.
Okay. And it is uploaded February 26th, but nothing's coming through.
Are we sure? Maybe I want to double check that I did that right. Okay. Yeah, I did do it right.
Because it's
So
/photo/JPEG, and then / the ID of the image. Okay.
and notice that this is coming up as unlisted.
That's interesting. Let's try 2 really quick.
All right.
It'll be the same picture.
I'm curious.
I clicked images
There's
and all 4 pictures is the same
Yes, all four are the same.
size too.
Well, we know we can delete a couple. We know that some are not really valid. So then you can make sure that you have one that you want to hold on to, and then try to upload the image of the document that you took again with the new system and see if, you're getting something that sticks.
And
see, okay.
It's been working for me. I've been adding photos this week like crazy. Well, screenshots, but I've been adding them like crazy.
I was under the assumption that everybody's experience might change depending on what browsers they're using or where they're coming from, because as we're still working out those details, your mileage may vary.
Don,
Yeah.
when you upload those photos of records, remember down here where it asks about image type, that you want to say it's a source.
Okay.
Can you say more about that?
I may not have put the right, may have not done that.
Okay.
I don't think that would have made a
Basically,
difference.
it's really simple. Is it a picture? Is it a photo of people or a place? Is it a genuine like photographic image? Or is it something that you're using?
A document.
Yeah.
Yes. Then what I've been having trouble with is like when I'm uploading a document, a photo of a document, and I want to use it as a source in my profile, I don't know how to write the citation to that document that is now it's an image.
Right.
I don't know how do we write a citation for that?
Well, Sorcerer has you covered.
Well, and that's what I didn't know, if like clicking that radio button for source helps somehow.
Yeah. So what you'd want to do is do the citation assistant.
Okay.
And I was just at the Family Search Library last week. I found a will, but it's only available at the Family Search Library. It doesn't have that handy dandy copy citation button. So I had to use the citation assistant
Is
maker.
it not digitized? Is it only a physical form?
Um, it's
The item that you were looking at
digitized,
in Utah.
but it's not indexed.
Okay.
Let me try John.
But you could also type in like, item in possession. You could say like
Yeah.
birth record in possession of, profile manager,
Yeah.
Peggy Harold. And then, you don't have to upload the image of the thing. You could just say, okay, I got a copy of the thing in my hand, especially if it's one of those things that you're really not supposed to distribute on the internet, because a lot of records from certain municipalities are like that. Don't make copies of this thing. It's illegal. So you definitely want to just keep it to text in that case and just say, yeah, I got the document. I verified it with my own eyes, kind of deal.
And you want to describe it as best you can.
Right. You want to describe it as much as you can without actually replicating it.
Mm-hmm.
Could I ask the quickest way to delete those 3 extra pictures or duplicates?
Yes.
Should be a button on
very
each
good question.
page.
Right now I'm in the photo detail section.
So it's very easy. All you're going to do is you're going to right now the images is linked to Luigi, and you're just going to remove it from the image.
Because the bot is going to remove it after
Where
the
are you
weekly
right,
sweep.
Where are you right now? Are you in?
Right now I'm on the image detail page.
That's
And
right.
so there's actually a lot on this page. It's very dense. But if you go down to sort of the second.
Okay, down far enough. Okay, here we go.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. So you're
Remove
disconnecting the image from the
people-
profile.
Yeah.
When you disconnect the image, it floats freely, and the WikiTree bot sees that it's a free floating image, and it wants all images to be attached to something. But if it's not, it's going to delete them after a certain period of time. So it tends to go into like a deletion category that you're not going to see, and then eventually it'll go through, do its sweep, and then it'll be out of the system. It just doesn't happen immediately. So the image might still be visible. You might still be able to access it for a little bit before the bot does its thing. But that's basically how it works on WikiTree.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That was easy.
Good, great question.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, this was my first time digging into images with the new
Yeah, same.
WikiTree. So that
Good. Now I am through. Good. I got it. Thank you.
Yeah.
So it's the 3 images
cool.
now. Perfect.
Well, shall we take one more question? Who has a burning question? Or not, or just a smoldering question?
Get those hand raise buttons going. I think the big thing we noticed today is that, even us experienced people are finding, things are a little different. Growing pains are going to happen. This is all a learning process for everybody here. Looks like Gordon has another question. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was at a German archive in October, and with the help of a good friend, we discovered that there was a church book that wasn't even noted because it was so new. Some person had found it on eBay and purchased it and then donated it to the archive. Archives are always short-staffed, so this didn't have what they call a signature. So you could go on the archive's webpage and you'd never see any mention of this church book. It was just by asking the archivist in person, do you have anything else? And she says, oh, wait a minute, I think there's something back there that might be of interest. And she brings out this 12-year church book that gave me 2 records. But until they actually get it in their system, how would you source something like that?
Well, so yeah, this brings me back to what Debbie was asking, or no, I'm sorry, Peggy was asking about something where there's not a handy dandy reference. I mean, still, in the case of a physical book, you should be able to construct a name of what it is.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I don't know, making it up. German baptisms and the name of the town and the date period.
Yeah, well, there's actually a spine that has a title on it. So
Ooh,
Right.
That would be what I
great.
would use.
Right. I wanted to show you maybe if Murray and Stephen have any other thoughts, I will show you the citation I constructed for with the citation maker, and we can look at the fields.
And
Oh,
for that
Denise has
new
a question
one,
too.
I would, like in the research notes, put new
Oh,
acquisition at the church, not indexed anywhere.
Yeah, you could say something like that.
So you want to leave a record of the provenance of the thing that you've got, right? So you need an image of it.
yes,
Okay.
I have those.
Okay, so the image is evidence.
Okay.
Now this is evidence that this thing existed. Now I
Yeah.
want to describe the thing. And where can you find this thing, right? And
Right.
that's what a reference is, right? So
Sure.
the book has a name and it has some facts about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is it was a 4-page document. So what I ended up doing was just taking a photo of the most important section of the document, which was what was proving the family relationships. And then I attached it to each of the individuals involved, but I also cited it within within the source citations. So coming down here, we have
Down there somewhere.
yep. No. Find a grave.
Whoops.
Hidden.
Well, you can always do it. You can still add it later.
Yeah.
You had there was a reference citation, wasn't there, on it? On the fact?
I don't think so. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Wait a
It
minute. Let
would
me
say
look at it.
will, unless it's source S93, but that's like some leftover GEDCOM junk, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. 60, 70, 80.
Tombstone Memorial, and the one at the bottom is just, what is the one at the bottom talking about?
S93.
Keep going down.
Yeah,
No,
source.
S93, just citing a tree.
that's from the GEDCOM. Yeah.
It's GEDCOM junk.
Maybe I did put it on the. I know I said Greg Clark is my witness. He and I worked through it together.
Yeah, so maybe it's in the description of the image and not actually on the profile itself.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I'll have to repeat my work if I.
And there it is.
No, but that's not. I did something more complete. Anyway, Denise, I'm sure you have something.
Well,
Good.
I actually, because I've been monitoring the questions. A while ago, Debbie asked a question about where are the rules for using WikiTree? Are they written down somewhere? And
It's
yes, they
everywhere.
are. We have a series of help pages. So if you want to share that with her, that would be great.
Well,
But if we're talking about the rules, like the honor code would be the rules, wouldn't it?
yeah, there are, I don't know, countless help pages. But
Yeah,
I
there's style pages and
Yeah, it actually says rules.
I agree with Stephen, like broadly speaking, these are the sort of high level touchstones that we want to always, if we have a question for, see if we can frame it within the honor code. That's a great way to go. And then yes, there are style pages. There are I mean, for what I would do, what I do when I have a question is go here to help and then go to the set. You see, there are 298 pages. And so Peggy was asking about merges. Well, we could go and are there rules about WikiTree? Yes, there are. Here they are.
Go back up to merges. It's on the.
Oh, did I miss it?
Merging.
So merging, I think, was a page that we
There we
already
go.
had selected. Also
Merging.
merge problems. There's a
Yeah,
separate page
I
on
mean,
it too.
there's, you
Yeah.
could spend a
And it
whole
links
week
to it here.
Sundays. Yeah. So, whatever the topic is, there's going to be a help page about it.
And obviously, like projects have their own roles too. If you
Right.
were involved in a project, they'd have their style sheet. Categorization would have their roles regarding those things. But yeah, I mean, I'd say the honor code for most people, for 90% of WikiTreeers, is going to just break down the bullet points of what we expect people to do. Cite your sources. Collaborate with people. Be communicative. All of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that again is pulled. You can pull that down from the drop down. Was that within my WikiTree or was that within Find?
Under help.
Under
So,
help.
yeah, I went to the help pages.
Well, I mean the honor code, like
Oh,
you
the
drop
honor
it down from the
code.
top.
The honor code was under help.
Yeah,
There.
honor code
Yeah.
group.
Okay, so it's under help.
Yep.
Okay.
Amanda, does that help? Okay, I hope it helps. And Denise, thank you so much for keeping an eye on the questions.
Thanks, Denise. I wasn't doing it.
It was Debbie who asked, not Amanda.
Oh, Debbie. Okay. Debbie, did that help? Did that
Yeah.
answer your question?
Yes.
Good. All right. Well, then what I'm going to do, I'll stop screen sharing, is just put
Profile IDs.
Yeah, this is my profile ID, where you can send me a private message if you wake up at 3 in the morning with a question, and or if you're WikiTreeing at 3 in the morning, I'll look at your email in the morning and see if I can answer it. And Stephen and Murray will do the same.
Yep, mine's in there. Greenwood 3667.
Stephen is really skilled with Wikicode, vast experience, and of course Murray, has done
I've only
so
been
much
doing
with
this for
the
20
groundworks
years.
and so
There's
do
Murray's.
free
Yep.
space have limits?
That I'm aware of.
But can you say more about that question, Amanda? Like in terms of size, or what do you mean?
I don't know if Amanda has any. Oh, okay. She doesn't have any audio,
Oh,
but she's
size.
texting.
Oh, I've seen some. I mean, I personally have not encountered sort of a roadblock for size. I've seen some pretty extensive free space pages. So
Should I take somebody on a
I'm
tour
gonna
really
say,
quick? I got a really big one.
I
No.
believe you.
Oh, okay. So I mean, they can get really
That
large.
sounds. Yeah. I think the chances of your hitting
You're just
that
bragging though, Stephen.
wall,
No.
I'm just I'm sensing a rabbit hole, Stephen. So
Right, yeah. So I think there is no real limit. No one's really tested it, in broken WikiTree with a space page. As far as I'm aware, I do have some fairly lengthy ones that haven't broken WikiTree. So for the majority of people, they're probably not going to have to worry about that.
Right. Amanda says she's worried the tables are going to be too big.
There's an issue I'm seeing, at least on mobile, with tables being displayed, but I think they are displaying correctly on desktop and laptop. I have tables on mine, so like depending on how I'm viewing it, I can either see it or I can't see it depending which device I'm using. Because I do have tables that go outside of the general space. There's usually the fixed space down the middle or on the left-hand side, and we created a code that was wider than that initially. So on the old one, it displayed, but you had to scroll over to see it. That would have been the page I would have shown, by the way. But, again, I understand we have time constraints.
Right.
Yeah.
Anne, I don't know what you mean. What?
Denise. Denise is.
Oh, Denise has her hand up. Thank you. Thank you.
Sorry, Denise.
Yeah, that's okay. I was going to say, I haven't noticed a limitation either, and we do a lot of free space pages for plantations and for slave owners, and some of those tables are huge with over 100 people. So at this point, we haven't hit the limit. How about that?
Yeah, so if we can't break it, you probably won't break it.
And Amanda, if you run into some problems, let me know and I'll find someone to connect you, answer your questions.
Oh, it's a different comment.
Don't try not to go completely over the edge, and we'll try and get you help if it looks like you need it.
We can always come back to this in 2 weeks as well. You know, if we have any more questions regarding table formatting and stuff like that.
Which is a little bit of an advanced topic.
Yeah, it is advanced, and maybe with the new reskin and everything, it's less less of an interest than it would have been on the old skin. But yeah, I understand.
Yeah. So speaking of 2 weeks, we'll be back on Sunday, March 23rd at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 3 p.m. UTC, and it'll be the same format. We'll have our fourth co-host with us, Hillary Gadsby, and she has a lot of experience with GEDCOMs. So if you have questions on GEDCOMs, that the 23rd will be a good time to come.
Yeah,
And make sure
actually for Eastern time, we're on daylight savings now, Betsy.
Oh,
So
okay.
We're no longer standard now. We're back to daylight savings time now.
Okay.
This is
I will
-5.
correct my initials. Thanks, Denise.
And I was just going to add, yeah, so if anyone has any questions that they want to put into the G2G forum, in lieu and ahead of that Sunday, definitely get those questions in so that we can attack them at the very beginning of that chat on Sunday. So if you want to link to that again, Betsy.
To the
G2G post, or at least, maybe back to the page, the new member orientation page.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so get them a footing for that.
So this, let's see. Remember. So this page here is that I'm going to put in the chat in a moment is our clearinghouse for all things related to the new member Zooms. So this is where you can find the Zoom links, and once we get it uploaded to YouTube, that's where you find the YouTube links. And I do want to link this really excellent post that Julie Ricketts did in G2G.
Yeah, I've been sharing that as well.
Yep, about navigating the new design and like where did it go? Fill in the blank. We haven't lost any functionality, so it's retraining your brain. It's all there.
It's muscle memory, we get used to a pattern. We don't like it when it changes.
Yeah. Debbie has a question.
Yes.
Can you explain more about the side programs?
The side
programs, perhaps other projects or other activities that are going on, I'm assuming is what you mean, Debbie.
Yes.
Okay. Well, on WikiTree there's just a countless number of challenges and marathons and initiatives and projects. Let's
I'll
see.
try
What
to
does
get
all
the
that
link
mean?
made.
What does it all mean? Yes. So 4 times a year, let me start with the marathons. We call them thons. So 4 times a year, we have these marathons. 3 of them are connect-a-thons, and 1 is a source-a-thon. And usually there's about 800 people participating. You sign up for a team. And there are a lot of teams that are geographically based. So there's like an England team or an Australian team. We have a new team. a new to WikiTree team, and those are for people who are new and maybe it's their first thon and they want a little extra support. So it's just sort of it's a constructive way to get together as a group and do what we want to do anyway on WikiTree, which is, let's create a whole bunch of profiles. Let's connect for 72 hours or source. We have those. We have the projects, which if you go under, let's see, go under find to project.
Yeah, I've already linked it in the chat.
And thank you, Stephen.
Yep,
So,
I got that one up at least.
so we've got geographical projects. We have projects that are related to events. Like, let me do Palatine.
And I've linked the Connectathon as well, if anybody
Okay,
wants to just look at that.
Yep, the next Connectathon is April 11th through 14th. We have those topical projects, and then we have what we call functional projects. Data doctors, their task is to look for little problems. Probably not lethal problems, probably maybe cosmetic or syntactical problems in how the wiki code has fallen out in a profile, and to fix them. So I know this may seem like a huge amount of information. I remember when I first joined WikiTree, I felt so overwhelmed by all the possibilities for getting involved that I was sort of paralyzed. And so you just take a step back and listen and then maybe pick one thing, like, hey, that sounds interesting. That sounds fun. It's a limited time commitment. Let me sign up for that. And gradually you find your way.
Yeah.
But projects are a great way to get to know people with your similar interests.
Yeah.
And I've also made a link to category challenges, which is where all of the thons are located, including all the other smaller challenges, sourcing challenges, group challenges, things like that. The WikiTree challenge, where we work on a single person's ancestry. So if anybody's ever interested in wanting to be a part of those, they can go sift through all of those different pages for these categories.
Yeah. But Debbie, I think the one thing to think of is, what are your interests? What is it that you're interested in? And 9 times out of 10, there's a project for it in WikiTree already. So, we can connect you to that particular project leader, and they can talk to you about what they do. Most of the projects already have help pages, so to speak, out there. So you can always read up on what their mission is, what their intent is, what their goals are, and those type of things. If you're a competitive person, that's where the challenges would really be a fun activity for you. If you like to compete, because we keep track of how many profiles somebody is creating, or how many corrections someone has made to data, for example, in data doctors. Those types of things, they're keeping track of that. So if
Okay.
you like to compete, that's something for you. If not, if it's you just want to take your time and ease on down the road doing your thing, pick a project, pick a state, pick a town, whatever it is you're interested in, you'll be able to do.
Well, I'd like to find my 3rd great grandfather before I die.
Wow.
There's a goal. Yeah.
Yeah.
There is no wrong way to WikiTree. Except, you don't want to make enemies with people. But,
Yes, but I've been
in terms
looking-
of your
I've been
research.
looking for his parents for 30 years.
Oh,
Wow.
wow. Well, then put out a G2G post and see if maybe, somebody knows more information about it. You
Yeah,
might just be able to
exactly.
get some assistance from that.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Welcome. Well, I think at this point, let me stop the recording. Let me say thank you to all of you for coming tonight and bringing great questions. You helped us to have a really good conversation, very very wide ranging, and we covered a lot. So thank you. And thank you to those who are watching afterwards. So hope to see you all on the 23rd. Good night.
Thank you.